I need to switch over to screen.
He's gonna need. The Kanye are now pushing in, and is this the time? Ungers needs to get on the attack dance. I mean, he has 70 fills. He's so far at an eco. Put some fills on the attack dance, and this will be even better. He's not switching. He's on XP. The cap is going down. It's getting melted by the buildings here. The longbows are still standing and doing damage.
Does he have enough steam though?
There's not enough
running out.
Yeah.
Eaton Bowman, 1.5 fire rate once again, coming up truck, being king here, and just even though
Drag boxing the Naginatas forward, the Coyotes are trying to move, and the Atoman, he drag boxed the wrong direction, and now the Atomans are getting snared by the. Oh my
Nagis
goodness!
are shredding this right now, and it doesn't look like he's got his
11s.
I don't see any of the pikes. Where's the pikes on this fight? The Nagis are just cleaning this entire mass up. Coyotes are falling. You got the Ashes getting buffed by the Dynamo. They've got Ashy attacking. They're absolutely shredding everything here. Yumi's don't even need to micro this at this point.
He's gonna have to sack off Rust. Yes, he has to come in melee here.
Yes.
I don't think he can continue keep microing. Well, he's gonna try, wait for reinforcements and try to make it to his blockhouses. The question is, how much damage will he going to be taking? This is nice micro from Ungers, but you know, the Tonsons just have to attack move here. And 1.5 fire rate, they do have staff animation. And the Tonsons are absolutely insane. But he has drawn him into the double blockhouse. Now fighting under double blockhouse. The question is it going to be
Skits are a little
defensive?
behind here. The Cossacks are now getting snared by the Pumas and the Coyotes. The Explorer is now in with the triple XP tech. Some Warriors are mixing. The Atoans doing absolutely insane amount of damage. He's on plus 36%. Look at him on the attack. That's a plus 36%. And he's just
Coyotes
coming in now
on the
with
Strelitz.
Blockhouses are actually doing decent damage here. The Coyotes are kind of going down. The Spears are now trying to move in towards the front, and it's actually a decent fight, I think, for Tabin.
Pretty good fight for Tabin, but there's not very many Cossacks. He's letting a lot of these Coyotes and Pumas kind of shred his Strelitz a bit. Finally getting his Cossacks where they want to be on the Slingers, and gonna be cleaning up.
Here, VSRs are out of position. The Carolinians as well, and VSRs are gonna go up top. Oh, the tree carrying here. The tree is for Sweden, and there you go. We can see some damage here. VSRs are dead. That's quite a lot of mass. VSRs coming back from fair rate. Nah, GG. Optimus, his mass is getting completely clean. With VSRs, that's gonna be a big snare right there, and there is no way those Carolinians are gonna come out alive.
Maybe should be able to swing this water fight. Yeah, it's so the micro here is so intense. Get in, get back in. Will the Yumi have a chance to snipe him? Look at the ship is at 62 HP.
Oh! Frontline, what a god.
Oh no! Oh my god! Oh my gosh, the micro here was insane, and that's GG. Wow, those galleys have such low HP.
He's gonna need to take trades here, and he's taking really good trades. The Kanye are now pushing in, and is this the time? Ungers needs to get on the attack dance. I mean, he has 70 fills. He's so far at an eco. Put some fills on the attack dance, and this will be even better. He's not switching. He's on XP. The cap is going down. It's getting melted by the buildings here. The longbows are still standing and doing damage.
Does he have enough steam though?
There's not enough
running out. Eaton Bowman, 1.5 fire rate once again, coming up truck, being king here, and just even though
Drag boxing the Naginatas forward, the Coyotes are trying to move, and the Atoman, he drag boxed the wrong direction, and now the Atomans are getting snared by the. Oh my
Nagis are
goodness!
shredding this right now, and it doesn't look like he's got his
11s.
I don't see any of the pikes. Where's the pikes on this fight? The Nagis are just cleaning this entire mass up. Coyotes are falling. You got the Ashes getting buffed by the Dynamo. They've got Ashy attacking. They're absolutely shredding everything here. Yumi's don't even need to micro this at this point.
he's gonna have to sack off Rust. Yes, he has to come in melee here.
Yes.
I don't think he can continue keep microing. Well, he's gonna try, wait for reinforcements and try to make it to his blockhouses. The question is, how much damage will he going to be taking? This is nice micro from Ungers, but you know, the Tonsons just have to attack move here. And 1.5 fire rate, they do have staff animation. And the Tonsons questions are absolutely insane. But he has drawn him into the double blockhouse. Now fighting under the double blockhouse. The question is it going to be
Muskets are a
enough to
little
prevent it?
behind here. The Cossacks are now getting snared by...
Okay, good morning, everyone.
Good night, everyone, as well.
Yeah, good night, good morning. Welcome to the first game for the Hudson Bay Bigs versus CMC. We have Dennis facing off against Daniel. We've just received the SID picks, so I'll put that in really quickly. Before we start, Antinomy, how do you think this series is going to go?
So I might be biased because Dennis is on my team, but screw that. Dennis is taking this home, at least 3-2. And that's if Daniel gets lucky. Oh, I guess I should be a bit less biased when I'm a caster, but yeah. Dennis, I don't have too much experience playing against Daniel. I think he was a bit inactive recently. He came back, he smashed Ace, I believe, 4-1, which is definitely a great score. So that's definitely scary, but from practicing with Dennis, from watching how he practiced with Julian especially, I'm expecting great things from him. And yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to see some entertaining games.
Yeah, I'm wearing the Hudson Bay Bigs hat purely because Dennis is a Hausa Ethiopian enjoyer, and so am I, so that's the team I'm rooting for. Alright, but it looks like we have found the game. So I'll meet everyone over there. The map is Pomerania, Dennis is playing France, and Daniel is playing Spain. So let's see how this goes.
Yep.
Alright. Take it away, Antinomy.
So we are on the map Pomerania, one of the European maps. On the left side of the map, in red, we have Spain, which I like. I love that country in red. And on the right, we have France in the color blue. Dennis will be playing France, while Daniel will be playing Spain. And first thing I want to mention, I think both of these civs are fine in this matchup. France generally a better rated civ, but I'm pretty sure Spain can do a lot of stuff that can surprise France and definitely take the win. So from the get-go, I don't think any player is benefiting too much from this blind pick. We do see that Dennis is actually gonna get his pass, but Daniel won't, simply due to the fact that French Explorer builds his TP much quicker than every other nation's Explorer. That's one of the hidden bonuses of the French Explorers. So it's 33% faster, yeah, and I think with a regular Explorer you wouldn't get that pass, so maybe France already showing why it's S tier civ.
Also going to pick up a nice 85 XP treasure, including the treasure he's getting, XP he's getting from these wolves. He's already off to a great start with his XP curve. We have a look over his deck. Okay, very standard French fast fortress deck. It looks
Actually,
like
a bit too more H4, a lot of H4.
a lot of
but
H4.
Yeah.
So it looks like he's
Yeah,
gonna
usually in
try
this
to...
matchup you don't want to get stuck in H2.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to
So
try to naked FF. He could possibly semi into Hussar, but I don't think he'd be able to do much against Spain when they are also, if we have a look at their deck. Oh wow, they're actually more favoured into H2. They've got the Reconquista card, and they've got Spice Trade and House of Trust. So Daniel might be looking to stay in H2.
So the thing usually French does, I think there are two main approaches in this matchup. You want to either 5 has semi-FF to just try and delay Spain, because France just doesn't really like their naked FF that much. They usually prefer something like 5 has or like 10 mask simply to take down the outpost if it's forward and Spain is FFing, because taking down the forward outpost against Spain just buys you so much time. Not only are the Falcons going to be forced to walk all the way from home, any subsequent military shipment that Spain has so many of will also be later, so we will see. Generally, I think 10 mask semi-FF is the most common approach by France, but again, it's a strong civ, they can get away with a lot of it. One other thing to note is that the TP is a bit further from Spanish base on this map, so maybe some 10 masks simply to target down that TP to deny Spain that XP that they use so well. And I think if we turn the POV to Spain, we will be able to see, yeah, we are on Spain, just check his base to see if he is planning to play H2 or not. So check what Spain is aging up with.
Oh, I thought I'd paused the game on accident, but it looks like one of the players have. So Dennis is saying we've got a sturdy table.
Yeah. So check what he's aging up with.
Oh, he's aged up with the governor.
So that is most definitely, I think, H2 play, because any type of FF play just goes for the outpost. With this, I think all 400 wood will be spent on like 2 Raxes, or maybe the 1 Rax and then the second one being added with the 700 wood. So this build, I really like it. They focused on getting both the food upgrades from the market very early on. So in transition to H2, they get hunting dogs and prepare for the steel traps. And they ship 700 wood and wheels, have insane villager efficiency, insane villager numbers, and they just start pumping musketeers. Just batch after batch, being able to like sit all of their villagers on food, sell it when necessary for musketeer batches, have that capitalism trickling in behind, and yeah, if Dennis isn't prepared for this H2 action, he can definitely be caught off guard. And he definitely doesn't want to be stuck in H2 long, because he doesn't have an H2 deck, and Spain definitely has it. And on top of that, has that all-powerful House of Trastimara card that can just say, okay, I played enough in H2, let me just go H3, real fast, real cheap.
He is sending 2 villagers forward, so it looks like Dennis might be trying to forward base his opponent here.
Ooh. So I think that he's planning to make the forward rack so that he can make 10 mask to siege down the TP, but if he surely is scared of the forward base from Spain, because he scouts the deck. Oh, he's gonna make an outpost actually.
No, that's from
this
the
is
Spain's outpost wagon coming in, and see, like, he's trying to...
so Spain was aging with the governor. I thought you said that he's aging with the quartermaster.
Oh, no,
my
it's
bad.
Governor. Okay, but it looks like Spain's is already dropped his racks, and
yeah,
deleting
the second one is gonna be coming up. Yeah, second one is gonna be coming up with the 700 wood, and we see actually a pretty good start to Spain, I would say. They like forward base from France simply because they have more opportunity to take it out, unless France does some earlier 8 bow shipment. So, missing a batch because he's popped. You definitely don't want to see that in a forward base fight.
Definitely lost some of his early advantage there. Second Rax is already going up. He's going to lose the Scout too. That's going to be pretty big for Daniel. Looking over here at Dennis's POV, he's sent 400, the 4 CDBs, 700 wood has arrived. He's now picking it up. Be interesting to see if he's just going to go double racks. Oh yeah, he has gone double racks. He's built a second one a little bit further south. But
Yeah,
now he's
you just
matching
have to-
5 crossbows. I think this is going to be a very good counter to the mask.
Yep, just great adaptation from Dennis, I would say. His deck is definitely not for H2, but he's playing this H2 really well so far. Getting the I like that. Shooting with the full HP crossbows and bring low HP one back so they don't get sniped. So even if they are low HP, they can still do the same DPS as a full HP one. And yeah, great adaptation from Dennis, being able to drop down his second Rex, and he feels pretty sure that Spain just cannot add Cav simply because they don't have a shipment, and he already scouted both of the Rexes. So when your opponent is just going musketeers, you can add crossbows for that extra efficiency. But the scary part is this shipment of rods that can just snare everything France has and force a really good fight for Spain. Let's see now, a lot of dogs and rods are collapsing from the top. Both explorers are in the mix there, trying to kite. Rods will go into the cover mode to try and tank or not. They're actually just hitting, which will, yeah, now they're in the cover mode, taking so much damage, allowing these Spanish Musketeers to just whittle down the French numbers. And look at the batch coming in from Dennis, it's super late, and these dogs are such a nuisance to deal with when you're using crossbows. And 10 Musketeers coming from Spain. Behind this, another military shipment just coming from Spain. And these rods are still being so annoying, just jumping in and out of cover mode, being able to snare, then being able to tank so much. And look at the mass from Spain. So many Musketeers out on the field already. CDBs might be in danger. These crossbows are definitely going to be picked off, but no, actually chooses to go back with the Musketeers to catch the new batch of crossbows. Either way, looks pretty decent for Spain so far. The new batch of pikes that's been shipped from the outpost might be used to snare, probably not, just chooses to go and siege down the Rexes, which is still pretty good. Can we check the POV of France? Oh, just a lot of crossbows.
Yeah.
Yeah, 18 crossbows gonna pop out real soon. And while crossbows do technically counter heavy infantry, they do 20 damage to Musketeers, while Musketeers have 23 damage, but crossbows do have, I believe, 20% range resist. So it's not that good of a trade if Musketeers are able to shoot, and so far they are definitely able to trade blows with crossbows, which you just don't want to see. Yeah, one of the...
Dennis down to his last barracks. He's trying to batch some musk. I think, like he said, he wants to have some musk out there to soak up some of the damage his crossbows are taking. And he's lost both barracks. The pikemen were able to siege down both very quickly. He switched over and he's going to catch these crossbows, yeah.
Yeah. Crossbows are going to die real soon. The TP is going to die soon. He's going to be forced to rebuild his Rexes in base, which are going to be expensive. He's nowhere near aging. And look at these dogs. They just keep trickling in and being so annoying for the crossbows. Just 18 damage. Now, I did say Spain struggles to add cav, but we can say these dogs are definitely doing that job. Look at this, just completely eating up that crossbow batch. And if we check the ecos, France is not even ahead, I believe, because Spain, with this build, they ship 5 wheels as well, so yeah. Up 4 wheels, so they're around the same, counting the CDB buff and capitalism from Spain. But it seems like both players are going to choose to age up now. But
Spain
definitely favors Spain much more.
Yeah, he sent the House of Trasimar because he only had 700 gold there. But excellent. Yep. This is very good for Spain. Look how quickly it's going up. Be interesting to see. I don't think he's going to have a shipment ready in H3, but that's going to be okay. Look over at Dennis. He is now also clicked up, aging up fast with the Exiled Prince. Also, probably not going to have a shipment ready to go in H3. It's definitely going to come down to that shipment timing to see who's going to win the next fight. Now sending in double batching rods for Spain. This is pretty good. They've already got plenty of musk mass. He's not macroing for any vet upgrades in the barracks. So it'll be interesting to see. What do you think would be Spain's first card in H2? Do you think he should just send two Falcons and push?
Yeah. Get two Falcons I'm even surprised he added some of the rods. I would expect him to just double down on the musk, just easier to vet it all. And yeah, even this ship age up bonus of 4 Hussars is going to be such a threat to France. And I just feel like they cannot ship their 2 Falcons because they will get picked off by all of this mass. And if you can't ship the Falcons, then the Spanish Falcons will just completely win the game for them. And yeah, look at this, just a wave of red annihilating everything. Dogs, spikes, rods, musk, hussars, everything is overrunning the French base, and he still hasn't shipped the shipment. He has just like 10 units out fighting. CDBs are gonna do a lot of work, but again, there is just an overwhelming mass of Spanish units. Just look at these CDBs providing so much value, both in tank choking damage and dishing it out. But yeah, all of French military units have died, and I feel like at this point Dennis will definitely call it real soon. No amount of skirms popping from that Rex will save them from the absolute supreme army from Spain at this point. One other CDB going down, and Dennis calls it.
Alright, there we have it.
A very, very well played game by Daniel. Just prepared, took a better deck for the situation, forced the opponent into a fight that suits his save and his deck more, and just played really well. And importantly, taking out one of Dennis's main sieves. He is known as an Africa player, but after those, I would think France is his third best sieve.
That just makes me really appreciate the House of Trastamara card, because he was able to fast age up and get 4 Hussars out at the same time, which definitely was very OP for that fight.
I still think the H2 trades were just the key factor in this game. I just don't think France can forward base versus Spain if they're playing H2. I think just in base double racks and then crossbows are much better when they can be pull tricked back into the base, when they cannot be surrounded by rods or dogs or anything like that. Yeah. Just need to utilize in-base racks, I feel like, this game, but it's hard when you aren't exactly sure what Spain is doing. They could very easily just FF, and then you're looking at in-base as a bit of a worse option. But again, I think in-base dropping a Rex, making 10 mask to siege the TP, going back in the worst case if the opponent is FFing is still pretty fine. And it saves you a lot of trouble if the opponent chooses to play in H2.
Right, gonna switch back.
Yeah, and as people are pointing out, the first batch from Spain was a single mask, so it definitely could have looked bad for Daniel, but he brought it back and played really well after that one.
All right, so we have one of the Civ picks from Daniel. We have Brit.
So the next map is Painted Desert, which is a non-TP livestock map that is probably gonna mean Hausa for Dennis if I'm betting on anything.
That's a very common matchup, actually. I'm just thinking back to previous ESOC tournaments and EPLs in the last year and a bit. I have seen Ethiopia and Brit played. I've also seen Brit Mirror also played a fair bit on Painted Desert.
Yeah, it's often Aztec, Brits, Russia. Yep. Those civs are definitely ones that get the biggest boost from non-TP, but I still think Africa civs are the best. It's just that a lot of players are hard to, not keen on learning the new mechanics from those civs. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a Hausa Brit game.
Yeah, I don't think Russia, just in general, is a good enough civ at this level of play to be picking, especially if you're going into Brit.
Well, we did see some good Russia performances. Namely, I always bring back the only Baus being in a clutch game against Phoenix, one of the best Brit players, if not the best Brit players, losing to Baus's Russia. So yeah, definitely on certain maps, in certain matchups, Russia can do work even against such a strong save as Brits, simply due to the nature of the matchup. But in my opinion, with the livestock, with his saves he's comfortable, I don't see why Dennis wouldn't play Hausa here. It just, I would say, very fair matchup from both sides. Just the better player will win.
Yeah, if we remember last week, he played Hausa into Shakes Brit. That was also on a livestock map. It was Pampas Sierras, which he won that series. So yeah, he's definitely very comfortable in this matchup, because again, Daniel, having won the previous series, he's had to go first. Dennis, I believe, is counter picking. I'm just going to quickly check to see if they've launched the game, because I haven't heard any responses from them in quite a while, so maybe they just decided to launch. Yep, they've already launched the game, so I guess we'll find out what Dennis's pick is in real time.
It has to be Hausa.
Alright, well, fingers crossed. I see everyone over there.
It might be India. He is India enjoyer as well, but yep, it is the Hauser.
Okay, welcome everyone to game 2 of the best of series between
Play Alpha.
Dennis and Daniel. We have here up in the northeast in the color blue, we have Dennis in his Hausa. Love to see it, love to see the Civ being played. Meanwhile, over in the left-hand corner, we have Daniel in the color yellow playing as good old Britain.
And one thing that's important about this map is that I think there is less livestock that you can like for certain get. On the last week's map, you could guarantee at least 5, I believe, if you were the African player, simply because your explorer is faster. I'm not so sure on this map. The livestock can be moving a lot more. It's not always in the similar place, and we will see how many they get. I'm not sure of the total number of cows on this map, but it does seem to be around 8, which is kind of a standard. So if we can keep track of how many cows each player gets, that would be great.
We'll see here, Dennis only been able to pick up 2 now he's been able to pick up. I think he managed to steal, because before I saw earlier where they positioned their Explorer, Britain had managed to position this Explorer above the House Explorer and was able to actually pick up one of these cows and send him, like, when they were trying to get back over to his base, he was able to steal one and send it back down over. Definitely probably an unintentional play, but definitely a good one for Brit, because yeah, it's definitely one to try to deny as many of these cows as possible. However, he's going over parts that Dennis has already been over, so it looks like now he's just going to try to pick up some treasures instead of looking for any more cows. I don't know if that cow is probably going to stay there for quite some time. I don't think anyone's going to go over there.
There is one at the right, fully on the right, that Dennis might pick up if he brings back his Explorer. It's fully up the edge, and that's one of the annoying parts of livestock on this map. You can see that there is still 4 cows unclaimed, simply because they are up to the edge of the map, and you really don't explore all the way up to the edge usually. So players definitely not expecting all 4 cows to be hiding in each corner of the map. But yeah, eventually probably gonna walk into them by chance. But only 2 cows so far for Hausa, so definitely not too happy.
So we're seeing the Governor age up for Brit. We have a look over their deck. Very, very standard Brit deck. Not too much to see here. He's got Spice Trade and age 2. Looking over at Dennis. Now, what age up do you think he has picked?
It's Songhai. You can't. On such a map, you have to go Songhai. I believe the house age up has potential in a lot of matchups, and especially on water maps. I think it's severely underexplored. But oh, he does end up finding another cow. So 3 cows, not terrible at all, and a nice treasure as well that he should definitely take in melee, because this treasure guardian has an ungodly amount of HP and range resist. I don't know why he has 400 HP. I learned that the hard way.
Yeah, it looks like he is. Yeah, I've lost the House Explorer heaps of times to treasures that the Europeans Explorer would have easily just be able to defeat, because I found it's just such a rubbish Explorer.
Yeah, the animation to kite with the speed isn't enough. The startup animation as well for melee attacks isn't good. The ability often isn't good, but it has its benefits. My most annoying thing with this Explorer is the fact that it doesn't get any upgrades upon aging. They get speed, which is like something that they nerfed because it was fast from the get-go, but they don't get any damage upgrade or HP upgrade, I believe, whereas every other pretty much Explorer gets. So you would think that they would be useful to snare later on, but they are so squishy, they remain on that 400 HP, and they just get shot to absolute hell by anything that moves. So yeah, if any dev is watching this, please fix the Explorer not getting anything upon aging.
Okay.
Ooh, Daniel just walking into his base and stealing a small treasure.
Yeah, I just noticed that he killed whatever the guardian was on there, but he didn't pick up the treasure. I don't know if that was just overzealous shift clicking on Dennis's part. But yeah, looks like he's opening up with Fulani Archer. He's sending in the house's steel traps, and he's going for the Palace and 300 influence. That will help him get out his big button of 5 Raider.
Yep.
Looking over
Exactly
here.
Exactly what he did against Sheikh last week, just opening with the Fulani. And we do see earlier longbows now because he scouted the Fulani probably with his Explorer. It is right in front of the Rex, and the Explorer might die actually.
Yes.
It will take Fulani so long to kill that Explorer. 9 damage every hit. Even less with the range resist, but eventually he should die, unless he gets pull tricked. He probably will into the British base, and he will be saved to tank a lot of damage in the future. And this Explorer from Houses should be careful because he takes extra damage from longbows because he is counted as a goon, and I think he's gonna get sniped, which you definitely don't wanna see because you cannot pick him up. He will be respawning in about 3 minutes, I believe.
Is that how long it takes from the respawn? 3 minutes?
I think it's less than 3 minutes,
Yeah,
but
that sounds
around. I don't think it's 2.
probably 2.5.
For example, big button is I think 160 seconds, so maybe he's something like that. Not even 2.5, 2 and 40, but yeah. Just a standard Fulani Raider opening. The Raiders, I believe, are from the big button, and the Fulani are all traded. Now we see another batch, 4 batch of Raiders, going for that really efficient Fulani Raider early comp, because he scouted that British isn't going for any early Hussar play, and just gonna be able to pick and choose his fights. Even while longbows outrange the Fulani, they always have to be careful of those Raiders collapsing on them, because Raiders have like that multiplier against light infantry, so they will kill, I believe, in 3 hits. 3 hits from a Raider is all they need to kill a longbow, which is really efficient for such a cheap 1 pop cav unit. Daniel playing around this cliff really well, but still taking some shots from the Fulani, but now he seems to be in a better position. Most of the Fulani aren't shooting back and are getting some hits from the longbows in. Fulanis, they're just trying to thin down this musketeer mass as much as they can, so to allow the Raiders to collapse. I do wish the Raiders danced in front of the Fulanis simply to soak that attack move from the longbows. Nothing like that so far. We see Dennis going for 700 wood now, which definitely not something he wants to see. Usually you would ship 700 wood first to allow for a better timing later, or a unit shipment first to try and do some damage, but no damage was caused so far. Brits is definitely in a comfortable position with 32 will so far. 1 will gonna go down probably. Actually, no. Great School's gonna save it from Raiders, and a lot of Raiders and Fulani taking a lot of damage, and the British mass is just growing. I feel like this is looking really good for Daniel so far. Being a bit greedy with that spice trade. Let's see if that will pay off. I don't know, I'm not too familiar with this map, so I don't know how soon the hunts will run out in his base, but so far his base is quite wide, which is good for him. He's able to defend all of it, and yeah, he has at least 2 hunts pretty much in his base right now, with 2 others being relatively easy to herd in, and I feel like the mass for Brit is just quite a bit larger right now. I'm gonna keep producing from 2 Raxes at all times. Losing 1 will, losing another maybe. No, again.
Great cut, yeah.
Get your great codes in, and again trading Fulanis with longbows, but yeah, now finally has some of the Raiders in front to try and soak some damage. Definitely what he should be doing, but this longbows just taking extra shots every time that Fulani back off, and you definitely don't want to be at a disadvantage when it comes to numbers against British.
Yeah, I do think in a straight up fight, Fulani loses to longbow.
Yeah, definitely. They have more HP, but less range resist, less range, and much less damage. They have 7 less base damage. And the longbows will just set up and start shooting long before Fulanis are in range. Can we check the market situation for Hausa? How many cows? Did he go through all of him? So he still has 1 extra cow, that's the benefit of this map. But after that, he will be on his own, not going for the fattening tech. Surprising, seeing as he's floating a lot, but definitely just gonna prioritize tempo over any type of scaling right now. Brits at a comfortable, I believe, 10 villager lead so far. Yeah, 10 villagers, and he has the spice trade in. Let's see now, Fulanis could get some nice shots on these musketeers. Longbows are a bit behind, and yeah, 3 musketeers just gonna go down for free pretty much. But longbows again, with their overpowering range, gonna trade back against the Fulanis. And when that mass of longbows grows big, even the raiders have to be careful. But I really like this situation right now for Hausa. The Fulanis just keep trickling down the musketeers and threatening the push of the raiders. Daniel, though he's smart, he's adding a lot musketeers. You would be wondering, well, you're fighting only with longbows, why not just make more longbows? But if at any point your mass of musketeers drops too low and allows these raiders to collapse fully on the longbows, they're just gonna disappear instantly. Nice trade for Brits again, trading few Fulanis for a few masks. That's definitely not a bad trade. And these raiders being picked off, 3 raiders dying just while being pulled back. They can definitely soak the damage from the longbows, but not from the musketeers, especially not when there's so many of these. And I feel like the Fulani massive just isn't there.
Yeah, and that outpost has been doing a real good job. I've noticed it's managed to pick off a few Fulani and Raider throughout this game so far. It's definitely in a really good position right now at the moment. Fulani mass is looking pretty low. It's you should definitely.
Can we compare the total pops of the army? So we see 67 for Hausa,
36 to
against
46.
96. Yeah, so British not only have 10 more villagers, they have 20 more pop in units. Just and now adding Hussars, and I feel like this is an insane timing for Brits now to look for a fight. Just the hardest point possible for Hausa is when these Huss start appearing, because they're such a nuisance to kill. And they just snare your Fulanis, whose greatest power definitely is the ability to kite. Does Scout the Hussars, so he will be able to add some javelins.
Interesting. I wonder if he was trying to go for that Navajo weaving card to get the +5 HP.
I think he was unironically going to make Navajo, simply because he's running out of good shipments and he's floating a lot of influence.
200
I believe he shipped 700 influence, so yeah, that's what's gonna be floated.
Yeah, because when you go Song High, there's nothing you can really spend the influence on, because that big button takes a long time to slow down, to recharge.
So the only thing he can realistically make is Maigadi, which are really, I would say, bad in this situation. They're just so expensive, and he didn't get any good mercs that he can make. Some nice pick off by Fulani. Did add a few javelins to deal with the Hussars, but I feel like Brits can just collapse, and the most important part here is that Musketeers keep marching. If Musketeers can keep marching and get in melee of these raiders, the raider mass will disappear almost instantly. Calling some of the Minutemen from the palace is not a bad use of influence that he's floating. Probably gonna batch some more, but yeah, I feel like the raider mass is collapsing, and after that there is just no threat to these longbows that are just gonna annihilate both Fulani and javelins. And Daniel looking really comfortable against one of Dennis's main civs. The Hussars do end up dying, but the healthy mass of musketeers and longbows are still on the field, and Brits just fine backing off, sitting on a 10 to 15 villager advantage and just adding more and more and more units. Do we have some raiding on the left? No, it's just the House Explorer, right? Yeah. But yeah, such a good play by Daniel so far, adding some of those houses on the left and securing pretty much 2 more hunts. And I feel like the window where Hausa can beat Brits is closing, if not pretty much already closed. actually seeing some Apache being traded with Influence. Not a bad unit, pretty much an European goon in H2. But again, the main issue is this infantry from Brits will just totally destroy the Apache.
Yeah, looks like he manages to get 3 of them out of there. That could have gone a lot worse. I think House is
Daniel,
gonna.
Dennis struggling with
Yeah.
eco. Look at his wheel spread. Half of them, not half, but like a third of them are idle,
Oh no, there's
looking
no
for
food
hunts,
down
and
here.
they're just not familiar with this map since it's not in the ranked pool, and definitely looking bad for House right now. And if you are CMC enjoyer or a teammate, you will definitely be happy with the way this is looking. This is both a main save of Dennis and a counter pick on a good map, and it looks like Daniel is pulling more and more ahead in this game. Look at just marching left to right wherever he smells the house army, and his wheels on the left, while kind of exposed, they do have a lot of line of sight from those forward manners to alert them to any kind of danger. And the thing is, with the mass of raiders dying in the last fight, there is just nothing to raid. He will get a few raiders every 3 minutes from the big button, but he just doesn't have the economy to sustain making raiders. And how can you when hussars and musketeers both destroy them in a fight? And yeah, just Hausa having a much smaller army, definitely not better units. Hussars are much better raiders, and longbows are much better Fulani, unless Fulani can run them down in bigger numbers, but that's just not the case right now.
Yeah.
Still, Daniel needs to be careful. One good connection with these raiders can completely annihilate the longbows, and a great pull trick and a drag box by Daniel, completely shutting off the raiders from accessing those longbows and just letting the hussars go. Doesn't matter if they're taking the javelins, that means that the raiders are gonna die to the musketeers and longbows. The raiders are pretty much dead, javelins only a few remain, and after that any amount of hussars will be able to snare the Fulani. A batch of raiders coming in, but there is still a healthy amount of musketeers
Oh.
and a batch of hussars. Yeah, just signals the death of Hausa completely.
Wow, GG.
I see some people are saying that Akans were necessary, but one thing that people need to understand that Akan card, first off, isn't free. It costs a decent amount of
350.
influence, and then Akans are quite bad in smaller numbers, and they're quite expensive to mass. Their biggest power lies when they're massed and when you're able to age up since they shadow tech, but just no economy to be able to sustain them. And if you have Akans, then the longbows gain even more value. And if that longbow mass gets too out of control, you will just definitely lose. And Akans just honestly suck against Cav. I believe they have like 10 base damage in melee,
Yeah.
and a pretty poor multiplier, and their shots are not efficient against Cav. So I think Dennis definitely made the correct unit, just that Daniel played better. I think he played pitch perfect, and I think he definitely got some good preparation from the S tier players on his team, who definitely scouted how Dennis plays his Hausa and this matchup specifically, because this genuinely looked textbook from Daniel, and congrats to him. Not just great play from him.
With not even finishing his mana boom. Still, though, he massively out ecoed his opponent. And have a look here at all res gathered here. Yeah, pretty early on throughout the game. I believe it was around. He went 700 wood, 600 wood, 6 longbow, and then spice trade. So I think it would have been around this mark here when spice trade would have came in. Yeah, I think Hausa definitely in H2 struggles to both deal with a 3-unit comp and make a 3-unit comp of their own. Yeah, it's just too hard to master cards in H2.
Yeah, I've been instead of casting and talking, I've been chatting to people. But yeah, Archons are definitely good units. Like, I'm never gonna disrespect them, but I feel like they are very good when they're at least in equal numbers, when they can just utilize that splash ability. But if they're shooting into Hush, they just want to give their value, and they are quite literally same price as a javelin, if not more. I believe they're like 70 or 80 food and about 40 coin. So pretty much similar price to the javelins, but they just don't counter cav as much. Just needed more Fulani, and probably just Longu picking off 1, then 2, then 3 Fulani here and there, and just snowballing the larger army into that one big fight that just melted the raiders. And after the raiders melt, the British is just not scared of raids or anything, and they're allowed to freely eat up the map, which he definitely did, holding a solid 10 to 15 will advantage with Spice Trade in and getting away with it, and being rewarded with a second win in a row. Daniel definitely proving himself a great asset to his team, not only winning 4-1 against Ace, but now looking great against Dennis. And I am sweating. I don't know if my camera can see it. Not looking good for my team.
So we've got the
good play by
picks
Dennis.
here. Looks like Dennis is restarting his game, so we've got a little bit of time before that starts. So the next map is Arctic Territories. Dennis now having a turn to pick first. He's chosen to go for Ottoman, and Daniel has counter-picked with... Oh, sorry, actually, I've messed that up. Daniel picking, because, yeah, he won the blind pick, so he picked first. Now he's counter-picking.
Yeah.
Counter-picking as France into Dennis's Ottoman. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting with two, when you got two players with such similar names. And
yeah,
then,
DD.
And then
It's hard.
Daniel isn't using his actual name in game. It's just kind of like messing with my head right now.
Yeah, but definitely a pretty standard matchup. We've seen a lot. I don't know how efficient Dennis is or proficient Daniel is on France. There I go now, missing them up.
Yeah.
Dennis, I've seen a lot of him, a lot of preparation for auto specifically. One of the strongest sieves, I would say the strongest sieve that's relatively easy to pick up. Definitely should be in a roster of everyone who's playing in these types of tournaments. Some people are honorable and they don't play them, but again, it's a tournament. You want to win, especially when you have other people on your team that need you to win as much as you can. So every point matters, none of that honor type stuff. Just pick what you think is good, pick what you think you're good at, and fight for every point possible, because while these two teams are favorites to make it to the finals, if my team, for example, or the other team messes up this week and then gets upset in week 3 against either SKG or MDS, they might be upset. So definitely Dennis being pressured right now, definitely not going to be able to chill and say, this game doesn't matter, we're already in the finals, because that's definitely not the case, even after the amazing week 1 they had. Are they starting the game?
I'm currently restarting my game too.
So you are... okay. It was the stream from them. But yeah, Arctic Territories is the next map, I believe, right?
Yes, Arctic Territories is the next map.
Yeah, so nothing fancy, not too big of a fan of that map, specifically because it has no natives, and there is that ugly hill on the side, the middle side of the map, which can definitely screw with your perspective.
So we have the game. So we'll transition over there in just a second. Wait for it to launch first. I didn't do that last time.
Finally, we are getting into game 3.
Okay, game 3 of the Dennis versus Daniel over here in the southwestern corner, we have Dennis in the color blue, playing as everyone's favorite latter Civ Ottoman. Meanwhile, in the northeast, in the color red, we have everyone's probably second or third favorite ladder Civ, France. I think that would be time for second or third place with Mexico.
Depends on the elo range, but yeah, definitely one of the most played matchups we've seen.
Ooh, just got 20 viewers. Big raid from Aki11. Thanks for the raid. Welcome everyone. We're currently watching the third game in the best 2-5 series between Dennis and France. Not best 2-5, best in 5, or do you call it?
Yeah, play all 5.
Play all 5. Play all 5 game. France here picking up 100 wood. That's going to be very good. I wonder if he's going to build a house, or if he's just going to stick with this typical 12.
Oh, he didn't queue a wheel, so
There
he
we
might
go. Yep,
unqueue the shipment and queue the last wheel.
Have a look over in his deck. Other than economic theory, it looks like everything's pretty standard for France.
White H2, I would say.
Yeah, quite a lot of H2. I would honestly not have economic theory and probably have 4 culverins instead in H4, especially when you're going up against Ottoman. Have a look over at Ottoman's deck. Oh wow, that is a very big like H4 deck list. Look at that there. That is insane. Look at that. Only 3 cards in H2. Otto just not giving a damn at all, just going to go straight to Fast Fortress, probably even going to try to squeeze in an FI if he's not getting any pressure from his opponent.
Yeah, okay, so from my experience in practice, this is what Dennis does with Otto. He just said, I'm not going to do anything fancy. I know this is one of the easiest build they can do. I know this is a pretty solid build. I'm just going to naked F5 pretty much every game. Now, in this game, he might be forced to play H3 simply because France is looking like they are gonna definitely do some action there, but I feel like France has to be prepared that the opponent will try to do either H3 or H4 play, and should definitely make a heavier deck for that. I'm surprised just how heavy his H2 cards are, and we are getting some messages. So is this gonna be restarted or what?
I'm not too sure. Yeah, it looks like they're saying something in the
So
chat.
yeah,
So we'll just have a quick look, see what happens the next couple of seconds.
it seems one of our players messed something up and they might be restarting this game. So not too much to cast if it's doomed to end.
Church card is banned in this tournament. When the French church card is banned.
Oh no, you see that Dennis, he's not aging up. He just disconnected or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he aged up. Yeah, he was floating. Yeah, and then he paused. Something happened to Dennis probably, that either something IRL or some lag with the game that just caused him not to click the age up button for a minute or something. Definitely not something you like to see if you are a Big's fan. But we still have no info, right? What happened?
Yeah, they haven't filled us in yet in the chat, other than just Daniel asking why did he cancel the game. Dennis didn't explain. He just says that they're going to do a rematch. I have a look here to see if they have restarted.
Definitely a good. That was a good start for Dennis because he found a wood treasure which allowed him to ship 3 wheels without chopping. Yeah, but also good treasure for France. Either way, definitely not gonna be feeling good for Daniel after that restart. But I'm just not sure what exactly happened. Not too much experience with what is the procedure when this happens in the tournament.
It wasn't a disconnect. It looks like they chose to restart the game.
He might have disconnected simply because he didn't do anything for like a whole minute. I doubt he would forget to just move his wheels or anything.
Yeah. Okay, Dennis is asking for a minute. Maybe.
Maybe he's restarting his
Yeah.
PC or something.
Now we are starting. Okay, excellent.
Okay, great.
Hopefully there's no shenanigans going on their PCs.
I think every time I'm casting, some of these shenanigans has to happen,
Yeah.
but I'm glad at least you're here with me.
Yeah, I'm the king of shenanigans. Alright, let's try this again. I'll meet everyone over on the game screen. Alright, welcome to the second attempt at Game 3 of Dennis versus Daniel. Otto this time starting up in the northeast, in the color blue. France in the color yellow, in the southwest. Picking up how much was that wood treasure actually for France? Was that a 50? Let's have a
That
look.
was for Dennis. 50 wood. So
Oh,
he will be
sorry,
able to do
Otto,
a house without chopping, yeah.
House going down.
It's
horse-
already another good start for Otto. Let's see on the French side.
He's chopping with 2 vills. He must have also... No, he didn't pick up any wood
No,
treasures.
he
Looks
just-
like he
Yeah,
just wants to chop.
do 1320, maybe 1420 if no good treasures. Does he pass all of the coin treasures, which he will definitely pick up in transition?
I wonder
And-
if they're
ooh,
going to pick
that's-
the same decks. If they pick different decks, that's going to be pretty sus in my opinion. Pick up 50 wood. That's going to be pretty good.
I don't think Dennis is changing anything. That's the only thing I can guess. That's the deck he's been practicing with for 2 weeks. He has adapted absolutely 0 times, and yeah.
Yeah, he for France has picked a different deck this time.
Ooh.
He definitely had an extra card in H2 and he didn't have the Hessen Jaegers. He's also
He had
gone-
like 3 cards in H4. This is a much heavy
Yeah.
and has stuff like Advanced Arsenal, a scaling type of deck. Suspicious, Daniel. Suspicious. Yeah, my guy is just picking the same. He's picking this. This might be the only deck he has with Otto. It might automatically pick when we load up. But yeah, Daniel going for a, I would say, better deck now, knowing that what the Ottoman is doing. But again, let's see what happens in the game.
Yeah, this time he has the 4 Culverins in his deck. If that ends up being the game deciding factor, then I don't know. I might have to take away this win from Daniel.
Dennis was the one that restarted, so we can
Yeah.
give Daniel a better deck. I guess that makes it up for this.
Okay. Cool.
And this is a great treasure for France. What was this? 100 food? Oh my god.
Dude, this is
And gets
great.
it perfectly in time to get a pretty almost idleless 1320. So just great timing. Absolutely great stuff for France right now. And why are his wheels still on food? Is he
Not
gonna
too
get
sure.
the wood chopping upgrade? Yeah. Otto just not moving anything, just going for that FF. Didn't ship capitalism in H1, so he will be forced to mine a bit, and he probably won't get that Mubir at the start of H2, which is also scary these past few months, because players found out how good it is to just deny any type of exploration from the opponent.
Aim 100 wood treasure as in the last game in the exact same spot as well. However, this time it's going to be Ottoman who's going to pick up the 100 wood instead of France. This is also going to be pretty big for Otto as well. They'll be able to squeeze in a house without having to chop.
Yeah, so one of the common ways Otto FIs recently is they go the standard 700 coin, then 700 wood, and use that 700 wood for 2 houses and an in-base TC. What this gives them is scaling, defensive capabilities of 2 TCs shooting, and the second batch of Bajabuziks, which is just priceless pretty much. And yeah, that additional 100 wood might be able to get him, I mean, it will be able to get him a market and some tax, because he doesn't need all of that population too soon. He will end up making a Mubir, but that will slow down, I think, a bit the age up, because he will not be floating any coin. He will have to I mean, no, it's Otto. They can just FF still. 3 wheels on coin is pretty much what capitalism does, either way. Coin a bit greedy to try and get the treasure. Kiting it well. Let's see the Mubir. It's going across the map, probably expecting the French explorer to be in the base. Instantly moves back. No, it was the explorer moving back. He definitely saw the explorer from France, right? With the
Well, he's
TP line
about
of
to
sight.
now. Oh yeah, with the TP line, definitely.
Maybe not. It is actually a really small line of sight for them. Some musketeers in base, right? Actually,
Wait,
no, from
it's
the
up here on
bottom
the
right, I think.
There we go.
Yeah, so they're going for that TP to siege down while Otto FFs. I like that. Just 10 musketeers will be more than enough. Let's see Otto what it's doing. Probably aging with for Delhi and shipping 700 wood. Yep. The explorer is still alive somehow. The Mubir is slacking off. Is it
He is
sitting in
starting to
front
get
of
on
French
it
base?
now.
No.
He is starting to do his job here.
The musketeers might be able to pull the explorer back to make him live to fight another day. The explorer will get 2 hits, yeah, by the Mubir, and the Mubir will just walk away.
Yeah, going for the trade post.
I'm telling you one thing, Kerim B won't allow this to go down. He would call those Minutemen 2 minutes ago. They would be here defending that precious XP for Otto.
Yeah. Honestly, it's the only thing that France can really do, but it looks like here they're making a 3rd batch of musketeers.
Oh, that's surprising.
Yeah, probably not a good idea to do that. I don't know.
I mean, they can get away with it. They will. Oh,
Maybe hussars.
a bit of a bigger. I mean,
Oh,
I
he's-
guess
no, he's
if you can
cancelled it.
catch
There
the.
you go.
Ah, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You just
Definitely
put the
wouldn't have been a
semi-FF
wise
in
thing
the
to
bag.
do.
Yeah, definitely scary. Otto should be close to aging now.
Otto
Okay,
is
30
already
seconds
here.
more.
Yeah, only a couple more seconds to get the scout.
Yeah. Jen's going out, so it's not gonna be a naked FI, I mean. Surprising, because he definitely likes just shipping Spahi and killing any amount of musketeers, but yeah, these gens need to be careful where they go walking. There's like 15 musketeers here, yeah. And actually still duking it out in H2, at least for a little bit. Daniel,
Stable.
stable with the 700 wood. Probably gonna try and call out the Minutemen. The most important part when trying to punish Otto at all is doing baiting out those Minutemen, not letting them get too much value. And we see 2 Falks before the 8 gens, which is definitely scary because just lets your Falks kind of be vulnerable for that 40 seconds because you just don't have enough mass. 1 villager ends up being picked off. Veteran gens nowhere in sight. But yeah, I don't think France is looking to do too much damage until those hussars get here. And they might be able to collapse on the Falks if their Falks are popped on the wrong way. Simply because they're only being 10 gens right now. I like that wall. Definitely like it. Gonna be able to protect from the hussars. Ultric, Minutemen probably gonna come in soon. The gens need to go on melee. Hussars are able to collapse on the Falks, and this looks great for France so far. Yeah, the hussars just go through everything and kill the Falks and just walk out. And the Minutemen have been called. This feels so good for France right now.
Oh god, he's only
The
lost 2
Janissaries are
musketeers.
Yeah, this feels terrible for Otto, I feel like. Just the difference between 8 Janissaries and instantly getting that veterans attack over shipping the Falks, and now France, even if all of these musketeers die, they have killed the early-ish tempo from Otto, they killed the 2 Falk shipments, and they still have their own.
There's a big
and
raid
behind
going
this,
on down here. Never mind, just the hussar
ooh,
action.
caught by the Hussars, actually good. The Hussars will go down, but keep an eye out on those musketeers. They are still trickling in against the Janissaries. The 8th shipment of Janissaries will be able to push them back, and France will probably safely age up behind this by putting all of their wheels on food and using the 600 coin to age up. So far, really good, I think, for France if they can stabilize. I'm surprised he made so many hussars after this, now that I think about it. He's still idle from those Delhi. He will not be able to age up for quite some time. And he's running out of food in his base. Yeah, his herding has definitely not been great. That's why the Delhi got so much value.
Otto has overtaken France in the Ville count. Not looking good.
The more I look at this, by the time the 2 Falks are able to do any sort of damage, Otto would have stabilized.
Have a look here. Otto now sending 1,000 water. Guessing he's going to plonk down 2 town centers and boom
But
here.
you don't want to lose your explorer. Dennis no quickly pulls it back on barely any HP. But yeah, probably gonna use at least half of that 1k wood on a TC to be able to safely outboom the French, unless they add a TC of their own. And yeah, just Gen.
Vet upgrade coming in for the Janissaries as well. I think Daniel's not going to be able to do too much here. Towns that are coming down.
Yep.
Finally hitting the age up button with the Exile Prince.
Prince
Yeah.
only on 21 will. I feel like
Yeah.
that's due to the raid.
He's
Quite low.
yeah, he should be
One
on.
of the things that I've seen people like Keter do is that when Falks are out of the picture, he just keeps making gens and ships Mamelukes before the Spahi, simply because there is nothing better to snare for the gens over those Mamelukes. And let's see if Dennis actually tries to incorporate something like that into his play. Now, France, on the other hand, has an option.
Oh,
Will they
Spahi.
ship? Yeah, just easier to collect 1k food over 1k coin. France, on the other hand, will they go for 2 Falcons and try to do some damage early? Or will they ship 1k wood to try and boom with a maybe mid TC?
No,
no,
he's
actually goes
predicting
for
the
5. Yeah.
Spahi. He's trying to predict
Yeah.
the Spahi. Honestly, probably much say. And they've called for another pause. Hopefully, this isn't the second restart of the game.
Surely not.
Yeah, surely not.
Yeah, this is just a smoke break or something.
Yeah, Dennis being the one to pause the game again. Hopefully there isn't any lag issues going on. Do we know where both of these players
He's
are?
German. He's German, and
they both
Daniel
German?
also. I think Daniel is also German.
Yeah.
But one thing to note is that Germany has absolute terrible internet, so it doesn't matter where they are. Thank you, Olaf Schulz, for this internet. And yeah, maybe just that is a native scout still actually giving quite a bit of line of sight, and Otto is quite turtled up in their base so far, but they do have 2 tin mines on this map and a hunt on the top left being herded in. 1k coin coming after this. Yeah, I'm kind of fine with that. If he saw a few musketeers with the Falcons come into his base relatively soon, the Spahis would be good to just crash that fight. But now, somehow, metaphysically predicting the 10 goons, the Spahi is just not gonna be good value. And why ship 5 Spahi when you can age up with 3 Spahi, which are guard as well? And yeah, this Kerm goon just not gonna be able to threaten the TC at all. Yeah, nothing to siege this. And he will be able to scout probably the coin, which will alert him to an FI. Did he scout? Can we check? Oh, these Hussars might be able to scout. Still not seeing the coin. But yeah, he probably expects that Otto is going H4 since they're not fighting or anything. Still a decent mass of musketeers left for France, so the 3 Spahi from the Egypt won't be able to just commit. Let's see if it's a Tycoon or the Grand Lead. So it is the 3 Spahi, yeah. 3 Spahi Egypt. I'm gonna focus on the...
I think that's okay
barrack.
to focus down the barracks.
Yeah, you take what you can and you leave. I think Otto is by now probably ahead in villager numbers due to that raid and sitting on 2 TCs for a few minutes.
Yeah, 2 bills ahead.
Ahead in villagers, but again, it's CDBs, so France definitely better eco still. And yeah, I think you just can't be locked in H3 Skirm Goon against Otto going H4. What are these 2 Falcons gonna do when 2 bombers appear? The bombers literally one-shot them. And yeah, how do you ever push into this base correctly? Can we check again the Otto deck if there are powerful cards like the 22 Azaps?
Oh yeah,
and,
of course there are.
yeah.
22 Azaps.
Yeah.
Love to see 6 Spahi.
Even has the 14 gens.
Even the 14 gens. And he even has 2 town center wagons.
Oh, big raid possibly. 1 villager goes down, 2 villagers go down. Third one,
He's a third.
trying to body block.
He could even try to get 5 here. Oh my god, he did. He's
Definitely
gonna go for
losing
6-7. 6-7 mils he managed to get. Holy.
Yeah, and Otto down
Did not
to
mean to do that on
21
purpose.
bills. good timing by France, but they should be careful not to get popped by the 3 Spahi. They do have some musketeers and
Oh, the Spahi are
10
gonna
goons,
pop.
but
Oh, they're gonna pop with the
the
one cat set
Spahi
off.
pop
Oh no, he
on the
made it in
skirm.
time.
They do. The skirms are gone. There is nothing that can save them. These goons just don't have the DPS to defend them. And we see 10 Bashabuziks spawn from each TC, or was it 12? They are absolutely annihilating the French army. The Spahi do go down, but the French army is snared by the Explorer and the Bashabuziks. Giants just march forward and keep hitting. Good kiting back by
Oh, but the
France.
Falcons have
The
arrived.
Falcons are getting involved now, yeah. They will be able to do a serious amount of damage on these Giants, but yeah, there is 2 bombers halfway on there, and we see now that Otto is 2k score up after pretty much just sitting in their base and trading quite badly and getting
Right.
raided, but yeah.
2 bombards incoming. This is not looking good for France.
Yeah, these bombers can just annihilate everything here by themselves. And France looks quite locked in H3, and I feel like
no.
that's not where you want
He's
to
gonna
be.
trade a Moss for 2 Falcons. No, he needs to get him out of there. The range is just too good on the...
Oof, and there goes one, and probably just gonna unpack the bombards and... Oh,
Yeah, there
no,
goes
actually
the
the
other.
Falcon will it be pulled, lock on, and gets one tapped.
Can't do anything. with
Look at the
battle
size
now.
of that cannonball. 3 Cutters probably gonna try and collapse on the bombards now that the numbers of Janissaries are low, but soon we will probably see a shipment of 22 Azabs or 14 Giants. 14 Giants usually used by church users because they end up transforming into the 14 Nizams, but as we know, church is banned for the cheaper church card. Gonna pick off half of a Janissary and risk being shot by the nuclear missile, which they do end up. And yeah, Otto just chilling in their base, still having some natural resources. Probably, yeah, putting all of his villagers on coin. I think he's gonna try and get Mercantilism, and I think France now has a big
Well,
choice.
He doesn't have
Do
a
they make
church,
culverins?
So he can't
He
sell
will
the
buy a
Cantos, he needs the
church.
chop.
He just destroyed his half of a wall to get annoyed. But yeah, France has an option. Do they make culverins and try to win from H3, or do they try to age up and match? Actually goes for the Spahi right now, which is still a good shipment, even though it's an H3 shipment, because those Spahi are shadow tagged. So very little difference actually between the H3 and H4 shipment. And let's see what France is doing. Taking into the cuirassiers, definitely not what you want to see if you're gonna match the Spahi.
He's looking to try to pick off the bombards or just get raided. Is he gonna...
Oh, this is not good. This is not good for France. Just losing
losing goons.
such valuable units for absolutely no reason. That's only lose 2 goons, which is not terrible. Get some good scouting. Sees that there are no factories out yet, but again,
That is
probably gonna pick
actually
off
pretty
2-3
decent.
villagers. Yeah, but again,
No,
only one
definitely,
villager
yeah.
goes down. And can we
Still
see what
idling Otto a fair bit. He's doing a pretty good job of keeping him idled on these poor skirmishers are out of position.
Yeah, this is... Everything is out of position when it's Spahi. I don't think the 7 or 8, I guess.
Going back for another raid
Just
though.
going back with the goons, yeah.
Yeah.
Not leaving any of the Janissaries back. Doesn't care. Probably gonna try and collapse. Is the French army now pure goon? Can we look down? Yeah, this
This is just Cav.
goon and cur. Yeah.
Needs
Which,
to
if
get
there is one
together,
unit
though,
Otto
that's-
has that counters both ranged cav in range and melee cav in melee. They also have a 22 shipment of them. So we might be seeing them next. Although he is mining quite hard for that mercantilism. Might add the 2 TCs or factories. The world is his oyster right now. And yeah, just feels comfortable sitting in base of...
Yeah, he doesn't have
surviving
enough
off of
pop to
that
go
Spahi,
back to
and-
back with these unit shipments.
Yeah, I don't think he will do. It's
Yeah,
either like
he will-
22
he will
others to push
overpop if he
or
sees
2
the
TCs
assets.
or 2 factories. Let's see how... Because the game did prolong quite a bit, so I doubt he gets more than 2 shipments from Mercantilism. I like the Cav combat now that his army is pretty much pure Cav, but still such a scary place to be as France due to lack of scouting. Like, even we who are watching the game with everything turned on, no fog of war, we cannot predict what Otto will do, and it is the 22 Azaps, and I feel like
factory.
he should definitely try and get them veteran. I know guard is a dream right now, simply due to the lack of cost, but veterancy does quite a bit for these units. They get 2 range with every veterancy. I am not too sure how much they start off with. It's like 14 range or 12. I think it's 12. So yeah, with or no 14. I don't know. Basically, veterancy good.
He's
And
finally
you don't
building a
want to
barrack,
dig-
so maybe he is going to veterancy, but I don't think he's going to have time to send that in, because as it's about to pop, are they about to pop on top of all this cav? Let's see. Oh, yes, they do.
Ooh, big pop of Azabs. Some are in melee, some are in range, but these cuirassiers are doing quite a lot of splash damage against all of these bunch of units. They are dying, but they are definitely doing a lot of damage along the way. The issue is, when these curs die, there is nothing to tank for these goons, which will quickly die. And we see the Azabs moving in to focus on the goons, which is a good play. Just those 2 cuirassiers still dishing out so much damage, and pretty much all of the giants have died. 3 out of 5 Spahi have died, and on paper, this is a fine trade for France. The issue is the Otto is in H4 again, and France is just gonna be stuck in H3. And yeah, now a factory is out, and these Azabs will do more damage to these goons, and bombers will definitely also. Oof. Even against units that are supposed to counter, they do so much. Will France be able to age up with this 1k coin? That will be
France,
the main
I think,
question.
needs to try to age up here. I mean, as we saw, there's nothing much she can do other than remass the
Yeah,
exact
very
same amount of
little
units
body
that he
block.
just lost.
Maybe with a CDB pull, this army can be crashed, because there is just not much anti-goon right
he's
now. Can
starting
we
to
click
push
on the
out.
Azabs and see if they're veteran? They are. So how much range do they have? 16, so they start at 14. Yeah, so they're already outraging goons quite heavily.
So
Goons
they
doing some
better-
raiding in base. Spahi gonna raid here. Can we check the goons? Probably all villagers already going into the TC. Yeah, and oh my god, big volley on those CDBs. And
Oof.
CDB is just being snared,
Yeah, I
quite
think this
heavy
is
losses. You don't
game.
want to see this. Still, a big mass of goons is maybe collapsing on those bombards. And let's see, bombard just taking 2 goons every volley, just an insane unit. And yeah,
Here we go. Big
a lot of
counter
villas
raid
being
for
exposed.
France.
But the army from Ottomans is close. They will definitely be able to assist these villagers quite soon. You don't want to be shooting on the cuirassiers with the Azabs. You want to be either meleeing them or shooting at the goons. And yeah, most of the villas go out fine. And we see France aging actually. What is he aging with? Probably 1k coin, right? The Tycoon. Oh, it's
kid.
actually the French version of 3 Spahi, being the 3 Cur, which just feels so much worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you need tempo, you take what you can get.
Trying to go for another raid. He's going
Yeah,
to pick
more
up the
raiding.
Explorer.
Daniel being really good with raiding this game. Was this the 14 gen shipment? Can we check the auto?
Yeah, that is the 14 gens shipment.
So
Now he's
just
making bombards. Starting to take, Otto's starting to take map. He needs to take the map. He's been stuck in that corner of the map for the entire game now. He needs to start taking some reds.
I wonder if Otto can just right click the French base at this point, because
Man.
you are not that. I guess he wants to stay with his army, which is still a pretty good choice. All of these villagers being exposed, but again, the Ottoman army is close by. Otto is in a quite nice lead, but again, French score is a bit depleted while aging. 23 out of 30 villagers being idle. They definitely need to bring them back on those hands. And yeah, some more damage being done to those goons. And the army from Otto is looking very scary. France definitely gonna need that 4 Culverin shipment that he now has in his deck that he previously wouldn't have. Still, decent way away from that shipment. 1k coin Ajab definitely would have allowed him to get Mercantilism, but at this point he's mining for Mercantilism. I don't know if the 3 curve shipment is off, and Otto smart decision to just right click the TC. They have definitely enough anti-cav. They have added the 3rd bombard in right now. And what I would probably do is walk the cannons into the TC, so that if Culverins pop up behind the TC, they cannot just shoot out of range. But again, I think Dennis is fine, because the Culverins are not in ship, I believe.
Oof. Takes a big volley from the
Yeah, just
bombards.
almost a whole curve going down. Shipment, quarter of more XP needed, and this TC will be down, yeah. shipment
That's
is
his
not
only
gonna
shipment
save him.
point.
Yeah. Curse touching the bombards but just getting annihilated instantly. One of the bombards might go down, but for that trade, France is gonna lose their whole army. Oh my god,
No,
big
he's
volley
not gonna
from
lose
the
a
bombards
single
on the goons.
bombard.
Not a single bombard goes down, and I
Where's
think
the
we will
stable?
see the resign button quite soon. Once this fight, yeah. Screw France, screw your main African thieves, just put Toto in the bag. Just great game, I guess, from Dennis, doing what he prepared for a relatively defensive game where he just goes h4 and plays off of the few units he can get from the shipments, but he definitely utilized them very well, getting a great pop of Spahi and then a great pop of Azabs, just very good at dropping, popping good shipments. But yeah, great play by Daniel as well. I feel like he definitely did a lot of great raiding that whole game. Just an issue of maybe committing a bit too much into auto base and then being locked in that h3, which just it's certain doom. You need h4, you need that for Culverin shipment, and yeah, after a change of deck, the result still doesn't change that much because the deck wasn't the breakpoint, I guess. And yeah, we see Dennis on the board, definitely good for me and other big fans. And what's nice is that the next map is, I believe, counter pick for Dennis. So, and he still has his main Ethiopia on the board, so we might be seeing it here, or he might do a counter pick game 4 and then save his best save for the last game where he says, this is my best save, I can beat anything with it, even if you counter pick me. So let's see, do we have any save picks? Not yet.
Not yet. So next map is Finland.
Oh, I love that map sometimes.
Yeah, is it because of the wood trickle you get in base? Is it on that map you get a
It
wood
buffs,
trickle?
yeah. It's not a wood trickle, it's a wood gathering increase, so it's
yeah.
10%. So my save, for example, like Malta, definitely benefits a lot from it. And yeah, I like the natives on that map. I like the way the hunts are positioned, and it has water, but not too much. I don't like water maps that are just like pure water gameplay. Like you can still like win off of using the gold mines that are spread around the map. And yeah, just a nice map, pretty unique. And let's see what the picks are gonna be. I don't think either of these players play Malta, so not gonna utilize that bonus for them there. One other thing I also like on this map is Airo, or Haude, as I would usually call them, since I'm the new kid on the block. I think they probably benefit the most out of any save on this map. It is a water map with which Haude likes, and it buffs the wood chopping, which they definitely like, since pretty much all of their H2 units are wood coasted.
It's also a very small map as well, and Haunashoni definitely likes to have, it's a very good, very easy to rush on that map.
Yeah, just a great Haude map.
I don't think, does either player play Haunashoni? I don't think so.
No, but one player has Haza on their team, who is like probably the best Haude player out there, and he definitely did some great games on this map. I remember watching quite a few, and I think he personally likes this map for Haude as well. Yeah, Baron asking why is Finland small? I think that's also true. Finland is... I don't think the map is that small, realistically. It is possible to contain, but there is still quite a distance between the players.
Okay, we have the sit picks. That is, yeah. So for Daniel, we have... Actually, I might do the Dennis first, actually, because so for Dennis, we have India.
Yeah.
And then for Daniel, we have Inca. Definitely
two sieves that use wood as well, but not ones that we mentioned.
Definitely not ones we could have predicted.
I like the picks. I know Inca is definitely not a priority pick, especially in this tournament, but Maybe if he prepared a certain build, it can work. This is again Dennis counter picking, so it was an Inca blind pick by Daniel, so that's definitely ballsy thing to do.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Do you think you see water from India?
I don't. Maybe they can do. I'm just not really familiar with
India
how
can do
strong
water.
Inca. Yeah, but Inca, I don't know if they can fight on the water that well. I'm not even sure if this is gonna be a standard Inca or that Imperial Unity build that we've seen popping up. On this map, picking Inca kinda means that he wants to pop. So maybe standard play, but again, Inca has an underrated native play, and this map has some great natives from the Vasa, which I think spawn almost always, and then Oldenburg, which almost spawn always. And yeah, Vasa has those really strong Wind Hussars.
So we've found the game. I can see here the chat is very excited to see this matchup. So we'll meet everyone over into game 4. Right, here we are, game 4. Starting off in the top left-hand corner of the map, we have India. We have Dennis playing India in the color blue. Meanwhile, in the bottom right, we have Daniel in the color red as Inca.
And probably the first and only Inca of this tournament, right?
He's going straight for the dock. Yeah,
straight for the dock.
Straight for the dock.
I love this. I think I believe starts with 400 wood, so they can definitely spare some of that wood on
dock and a country house. Yeah, and he's chopping too.
And
do they get a fast age up button like the other Native American civs?
They do get a fast age up.
Yes,
the other thing is that they have a age up that just gives them better wood chopping. I believe it gives them like the 2 market upgrades.
So
if he ages up with that, that with the combination of the starting treasure that increases the wood chopping, he can take really off on the water. The thing is that building the dock this fast means that it can be scouted relatively fast, and he's doing something akin to Haude, or just chopping instantly for a few boats.
Yeah, the reason why I asked if they have the fast age up, because Howard's able to get away with starting with a dock and building 3 boats, especially in their rush. Because of that fast age up, they're still able to age up ahead of most civs, and they are aging up on an 18 vil instead of the usual 14, 15.
Can you check the deck for Inca? I think that is the most important part for them to see what type of build they're going. Not gonna be Imperial Unity, not gonna be natives, just your standard regular Inca. About as standard as this civ can get.
Quite 2 age 1 cards which you don't usually see.
Yeah, it's mostly Inca, because you kind of don't go age 4 pretty much ever.
Yeah.
The one thing I kind of like is that Inca has a really important and good shipment in age 4 for the Hurakas to counter artillery. The thing is, he's playing against India that has no artillery pretty much, unless they ship them very rarely. So he just doesn't even need it in his deck, and yeah, Huraka's just not gonna be necessary.
Oh wow, he can also go water too, these Indian men. Yeah, boats are cheaper, and it sends a dock rickshaw.
We are definitely in for a great game.
Yeah, this is going to be a great game. Love to see it.
Villager is a bit forward. Will this be some forward Agra play?
So.
One thing to note is that the Incan Explorer is heavy infantry, so he counters the Explorer from India.
And look at it, he is just chipping away, poking him in the butt. He's going to try to pick the fight on the town center, but Inca is going to back away.
Come on.
Yeah.
That one's Den, and that one is... Oh, I thought one's going to be called Den and the other Is.
Yeah, Minimal pointing out, so Inca, I believe, has a card that buffs both Villager and Fishing Ship gathered by like 20%. But it's only on like Hunts and Fish. And Inca doesn't have it in their deck, so it's probably going to be some light water play. Good catch by one of the greats.
He is still chopping though, and he's got... very few vills on land on
Can
food.
you check the age up? Is it the Elder?
It is, yes, the Elder, so that's going to be the wood
crazy
upgrade.
wood chopping.
I wonder if he's also going to build a... no, he's building a couch house. Build a... What's the name of it again? This one here, the community plaza, put the llama on it because they also unlock a wood gather rate
Yeah.
buff from the community plaza if they go for specifically the sage up.
It's a trickle, not a buff, but yeah.
Ah, it's a trickle,
Same thing,
sorry.
pretty much.
Yeah.
So one of the first llama is worth like 0.8. So in about like minute and a half, the llama by itself will pay off the plaza, and then it's just pretty much half of distributivism for the rest of the game with just that one llama. So definitely not bad to pick up. Again, I think he will just ship 2 warheads first, and then relatively boomy gameplay of this insane wood gathering. Not adding any more ships, which is a bit surprising. I feel like he only made like 4 to 5.
He's on 3 at the moment. But
Only
India
3.
sending in the wood trickle as his first card in H2. Second wood trickle. So it looks like he's also going to try to stay economic. I wonder if India is going to try to, I would say fast fortress, but I don't think he
I
can
think
do
they
that.
will. They're just
It will be a
against
semi,
these heroes
probably.
like Inca. Yeah, in India likes their semi-FFs, and I think against teams like Inca, you want to be H3. That's when your skirmishers usually outrange theirs. India already has a skirm, but again, India unlocks half of their roster in H3, while Inca pretty much stays with their H2 roster for the whole game, unless we see some Maceman action, which I highly doubt, but would very much enjoy. And did we ship 2? No,
No, he's
just
going
5
with the
wheels
greedy
and
option.
2.
5 and then the 2
Really
warheads.
greedy option, but
I mean,
just
he's
not adding
scouted
any
the
more
base.
boats.
He
I'm
scouted
really
the base,
surprised.
so he knows that there's going to be no action from India for quite a while. If you have a look over here, yeah, he hasn't built any boats. Now he's just going for a Kancha boom. I wonder if he's got a Kancha boom
But-
first,
Yeah,
then the
but one
the
country is
brewing.
like one boat pretty much.
Yeah, but
so,
once he
like,
adds the brewing,
It
they're going
costs
to be
3
pretty
times
good.
almost.
And
So can we
then
check the
go
gather
into-
rate of a boat?
Ima?
A country is 0.6 and this is 0.67. So why not just get 2 boats over one country? It's not like he will utilize this pop anytime soon.
Yeah, as I've been trying to say, I think he's going to try to do both. He's probably going to send the Chinka brewing and then switch over to producing both.
Yeah, so if you get the max number of countries, which is 12, I think.
Yes. 12.
Chincha Brewing adds 60% to all of them, which is like adds more like 4 new countries, which again, it sounds nice, but the Incan unit just so food heavy and quite bad for their cost, I would say. Except of course the Chimu ones scaled up, but again against these sepoys we probably won't see Chimus too soon. The 2 defensive warheads will definitely defend any type of raiding from these sepoys, and yeah, base already sprawling out, sim sitting it quite hard. Still, India, I believe, is on relatively similar villager numbers, simply due to their civ bonus, even without shipping 5 wheels. The spikes are popped out from the big button. They might be able to save the explorer. Great pull trick, and is able. That is a lot of XP in that explorer. I believe they are around 100 XP, these warchief explorers, and a big save. Yeah, great save. India loves getting all the XP they can get because of that civ bonus of getting a wheel with each shipment. Moving out, I don't know what's the point of this when he already scouted the sepoys. Just 4 to 5 jungle bowmen won't do anything to these sepoys. And we see Gurkhas, so might be a bit of play from Dennis. And can we keep the camera a bit on Daniel to see if he's making any of the boats?
He's just
or-
sent 700 coin. So I wonder if he's just going to try to age now. He has finished
quite
his
possible, yeah.
Kancha boom. Well, he hasn't fully finished it because he hasn't sent that card yet. It looks like he wants to try to get an age ahead of his opponent first before he finishes it. I don't know. I think he should try to send the
Yeah,
chicken
that
brewing
would be an
first.
age.
Because yeah, like you said, like what's the point of building all these Kancha houses when the fishing boats are out gathering them?
Yeah. Probably scared of investing too much in the water, knowing that he cannot really defend it simply because the boats from Inca aren't that good unless, like, I believe, properly masked. I'm not too sure, but I know India can ship some of the European boats on top of their own. So definitely scary to play water against India. And yeah, we see Daniel in a solid position, getting his boom off, getting to H3, with the fast age up, and
He's
now
spamming the
see how comfortable.
Chimu runners.
Yeah, these Chimus are really great units, but again, they require
They bowler boys.
Uh,
That is
quite a big mass. So
Yeah,
that's their
yeah.
goon.
Mhm.
It's their
But-
goon, but it's also the slowest unit that they have, which is really funny. I
Yeah.
mean, sad.
It's a goon,
Uh,
but it's marked as heavy infantry.
So the point is that it counters Kevin Rage in the sense that it has AoE, kinda low damage, but it snares from range. So not only is good against Kev in that sense, it's also
Well,
good
he
against
swapped
everything
for
because
8
of the snare.
mils, which is probably a good
Yeah, probably
idea because
noticed
that
that-
doesn't counter anything. He knows what his opponent's making. Oh, wait, again, spamming that Chimu runner button. I'm going to switch over to Dennis's POV. Going up with the gate.
Oh, and that is a great option. That's the Thunder Carni Marta into the one Mahout age up, I mean into the gate.
Yeah, now getting the Ottoman Expeditionary Company before ending relations. I believe
Yeah,
he's
I believe
probably going to
after
click
that-
Brit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that one gives them 7% HP, which is just really good. Quite a bit of India's units are quite tanky, especially those elephants, so that 7-8% HP is really great. Just gonna... India, usually what they like to do is get into that infantry type of fight where they have sepoys and Gurkhas, shipping siege elephants if necessary against two Falcons, but again, against Inca, this is just gonna be
No
tons
two
of
Falcons.
infantry everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is a very solid, respectable mass from India. I think they might even try to send some veteran upgrades and then push.
Yeah.
I think
Might
as in-
still ship the siege elephant simply because of the value of forcing the Inca to come to you and fight is quite good. We see a bit of a death bulk forming here, having a bit of
wow.
everything.
So he cancelled the bowler shipment, he cancelled the 8 Vils and has sent the 7 Hurakas instead. Ultimately, I
I
think
don't-
that's... Go on.
I don't know the point of Hurakas. Like, they are annoying in the sense that they outrange pretty much everything, but their damage really isn't there. Like, yeah, they do have a soft damage counter against heavy infantry. Yeah, they ignore the range resist from skirms, but again, you are facing quite a bit more of Gurkhas, so it's gonna be scary of just trying to kite back with those 7 Hurakas. And we'll be able to pick up one of these explorers, which is nice. Might be able to pick up the second one with the snare. Probably not. And let's see what India is shipping. Is it gonna be some of that Mahout shipments that can do quite a bit of, not a
He
shipment
sent
yet,
8
but
Gurkha.
yeah. He's catching a Chimu raid on the top. And
India picking
one
the
of the
speed
villagers
bump.
might be... One
Wow.
will is in danger. Yeah, goes
Piece of
down.
veg, Chimu.
Will another one
Look
go
how
down?
fast they go.
Chimu's so good, yeah, so good at going through this
Oh, and he's
city
going to
of
pick up
buildings.
some more. But here we got to fight
One of
here
the
at the
axes
front.
goes down, which is great for Inca, but again, Gurkhas are just so much better than these jungle bowmen. Although there are some Chimu runners mixed in on the right, if they get a snare on these Gurkhas, they can be in some serious trouble. And Sepoys definitely need to be there to defend them. And India is getting patting abused in their own base. To look at the position of these wanderers, they're just creating an impassable wall. And is there enough pikes to stop this Mahout from just snaring everything?
He needs to pull back. Inca is
Right
just
now, the
missing 20
Sepoys are
units.
blocking this Mahout. He's rearing to go. The pikes will do quite well against the Mahout. Half of it goes down in the first swing. Almost dead already. These pikemen actually do an amazing job when they're allowed to. But again, the Sepoys just get in range of these jungle bowmen. And with base 90 HP, the jungle bowmen die to pretty much everything. We see some bolas here, so they will be able to snare, but their animation is quite bad and they don't do that much damage due to their negative multiplier against infantry. And yeah, Sepo is just marching and shooting whenever they get a chance. And look at the score gap, 4,000 difference in favor of India.
Inca
Now
also
shipping
getting
8
raided.
drills. Yeah, the pikes will kill the Delhi, but the tempo is just nowhere for Inca. They lost most of their army. Now they're shipping villagers, while India is shipping Mahouts. I don't know if it was 2 or 3 Mahouts. And yeah, I really like the idea of India at the start, but just making 3 boats, I don't understand. you see that India is not doing anything on water. You can do a crazy boom and get really greedy with it.
And
And
there's
look
the
at
GG,
India.
yeah. Now, I want to look back at the Vil graph here because we didn't miss that raid. India on 40 Vils to Inca on 30. They must have
I don't think
lost.
there was a big raid.
No, that's a big raid.
Oh, this
That's
you mean,
7.
yeah, I meant the Chimu raid, but yeah, even the Chimu raid wasn't bad at all. Killed like 3 to 4 villagers for India, and then great tele raid. Both players playing pretty well. I just feel like the idea is a bit different from what I imagined when I saw Inca. But again, I will not blame him for anything. I love that he picked Inca, and yeah, we are looking at a tie game once again. Great series all over EPL this season, and I'm hoping that Dennis, with his remaining Ethiopia, can bring the score in favor of my team. Picks. Yeah, even chat is aware that Ethiopia is most definitely the 99.9% seed that's going to be blind picked by Dennis. Now, I'm not again too familiar with Daniel, definitely not somebody who plays as much as Dennis, so I'm not sure what he will pick. He still didn't play Otto. He might go for that. I don't know if he's an Otto player. What else does he have? Let's see if we can check his free food party to get some info. Good caster always comes prepared. Thankfully, I'm not a good caster. So his most played civs are British into Ottoman. So yeah, I think we're seeing Ethiopia into Otto. Yeah, he's been playing Otto on the ladder. So my bet will be on Otto counter pick versus Ethiopia. And yeah, I do agree that boom was pretty underwhelming. He had so much wood and he used it all on canches that just are even weaker than a boat. And he could have used that salt card or whatever in H2 that just makes both villagers and fishing boats really efficient. I don't know many civs that have a shipment that buffs both of them. I know Eco Theory works, but again, Eco Theory that early into the game just doesn't pay off as much as this one. And yeah, hopefully he inspires some other players to pick up Inca for this map for this week, because yeah, who doesn't love seeing Inca on tournaments? No, we don't want Otto to win. We want Ethiopia to win to preserve the
We do want Ethiopia to
Otto
win.
not S tier agenda.
But
Yeah.
to be honest, like, as Elite's pointing out, that actually could very possibly be on the table there. I think Daniel could just, go auto last
Yeah,
game
I
and
think
smash Ethiopia. The map is Arabia.
Ooh, so it is a quite short map, and I believe Otto is a rough matchup for Ethiopia, but once again, this is tennis. 2K 2100 plus ELO player with Africa, namely Ethiopia. I'm sure he has some builds against Otto. Now, depends what Daniel does. Again, he probably gonna do some FF with the Falcons before the Mortar is out. I think that's usually how Otto plays. I don't think there is much for them to do H2, simply because Ethiopia being able to shift something like Cannoneers that kind of negates any type of Jan play, and Gaskenia being quite good Musketeers in H2 since they are 4.5 speed and being able to pick and choose their fights as they want. So something like a semi-FF from Ethiopia, simply because I don't think Ethiopia FFs that well. They usually like a bit of a prolonged H2 where they get some of their what's called abuns out, and yeah, then they go into H3. But he might be forced to FF into that mortar to be able to defend the two Falconet shipment.
I haven't heard anything yet from the players. I'm pretty sure they're just going to take a quick break before they start their last game.
Oh, I see what they're doing now.
What do you see?
They're both playing to talking to their team.
Ah, right.
Now, it might look like it's Dennis against Daniel, but it might be actually the whole team against one another in their private respective chats. And yeah, I get information before you. I think it will be Ethiopia against Otto.
So if it's Ethiopia versus Otto, I guess there's teammates who are just listening to us talk. And basically that SpongeBob meme of, what did he say? Write that down, write that down.
Actually, I'm quite excited to see how Dennis plays, because for everyone who's not an auto player, it's always interesting to see how they adapt their standard sieve to play against these stronger sieves. Like, how does this sieve play against auto? How does this sieve play against auto? I feel like every sieve either has to make something of an auto counter build, or they will just die to one of many auto builds. Still not officially decided. I guess I might have spoiled a bit.
Oh, you haven't said the sieves yet?
Still talking, still talking. And yeah, I've been enjoying this series so far quite a bit, even with a bad start for my team. I think the games by Daniel where he won were played exceptionally well, and I think
The picks are in.
he's doing some cool stuff with this unexpected Inca pick. So yeah,
Drum roll, please. We have
is it
Ethiopia versus
yes?
Otto.
Yeah, Hazen Keter saw that Inca pick and just back to Otto you go.
Yeah.
None of that fancy stuff. Yeah.
No memes for you. Alright, and the game is launched as well, so we'll meet everyone over there in the final game of the series in a moment. Best of luck to our players. We'll see you all there.
Let's go. On the final map for this series, Game 5 is on Arabia, another non-native map. This one quite a bit smaller. In the bottom of our screen we have Dennis as Ethiopia in the blue, while on the top we have in yellow a sturdy table, aka Daniel, in the good old Ottomans, who are definitely the favorite in this matchup. But again, this is Dennis we're talking about, one of the best Africa and specifically Ethiopia players there is. So if anyone can whip out a win in this unfavorable matchup, it's definitely him. And already starting good with a really nice treasure, showing that chaos ability, even in its best scenarios, is still not that good, but still he will definitely be happy with that treasure. Is it 85 food?
85 food.
Yeah,
I also want to
food.
point out Ethiopia picking their deck 1v1 versus Otto before even microing his builds. He picked this deck.
Oh, and I like this deck.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, it has a lot of H4 shipments, a lot of military shipments that are just, you're not gonna play an extended eco game against this sieve. You just can't beat it if it sets up. And in H4, they have 22 Darude Somalis, or whatever the full name of those guys are. I don't know if you know what they actually do.
Yeah, they are anti-artillery and anti-ship as well.
Yeah.
So bonus damage against artillery, and they have siege resistance, and they have more HP than the skirmisher.
One other thing is that they have 22 range and siege resistance, which, funnily enough, makes them actually decent against Abus, because they outrange them, and they have the siege damage. In case Abus do end up getting a shot off, they will be able to tank a part of that damage. So a funny unit. Ethiopia can even hedge up with Somalia or Somali to be able to make those units for influence. But
what is this?
Yeah. How is Daniel getting Julian's deck? Julian is on Dennis's team. Do we have some insider trading going on here? And yeah, does he have water in his deck?
He's picked the galleys, and he's got a fair few cards in H2, as well as 3.
He's aging with Quartermaster.
He's got a Jan Rush. I think he's got a Jan Rush.
Oh my!
Definitely the best. I mean, looking at Ethiopia's deck is probably the best counter to it.
The issue is that if Ethiopia can stabilize, get a few mask out, and then ship those cannoneers. They can do a lot. But again, those cannoneers are just Temu Abus. So if this is some Gen Abus play, then maybe it works out. Maybe some type of Gen Deli. Again, with Otto, it's very hard to predict.
So I don't know the Ethiopia age ups as much as I do Hausa. The Habesha, what does that give you?
This is the house equivalent. So it's 300 coin, the camp builder, and the ability to make
the
for
Songhai
influence they
equivalent.
get.
Yeah.
So yeah, the 300
that's-
coin.
Is that
Yeah,
the,
in
the,
terms
the
of
fast
base
up one?
value, it's good.
Like the Fast Fortress one? I thought they would go for the XP and the what is it, the church or the arsenal they get? The
No,
Portuguese.
so I'm not too sure about Fast Fortress because most of the time Ethiopia doesn't like to Fast Fortress. They like to semi-FF. Oftentimes, the most common thing, I guess, is the Jesuit, which lets them make conquistadors, which they use to run around and defend anything. And then they build up their Abun numbers and then they go H3. But we won't see that in the game, so no point talking too much about it. Habesha, just by itself, gives you 300 coin upon age up and the Rex. That is already quite good. So you can quite literally ignore the bonus that it gives because he most likely won't use it, especially not in H2. But being able to... Ooh, he is shipping 700 coin first, so he might FF simply because he's scared of the possibility of the Falk FF. But he does scout that it's a wood
he
age up,
hasn't-
right?
he
He
haven't
doesn't see it. But
he's
he
seen the
does
wood.
see additional houses coming down and wood. He has to know that it's too soon for 700 coin into 700 wood to be shipped. So he should run through the middle and see if there are any gens there.
This is
And
gonna
yeah,
be
with this
huge.
700 wood, will this be a second Rex for Otto, or will it be an artillery foundry? Does scout the forward Rex? I like that. Otto
He's
going
going
for
stagecoach. This is hilarious. This is going to be
Yes.
huge. You don't often see the Janissary rush in tournament games. At least not as often as you do the standard Botto FF. I can't wait to see this. It's going to be very exciting.
and a great build so far by Daniel going greedy 700 wood to get all of the pop and the infrastructure you need into 5 wheels. On the other hand, it seems that Tennis is just fine. Take your take my TP, take your stagecoach. You're not going double Rex gen, so I can just FF and take back the TP that you invest in and build it for myself later on. And yeah, this looks like something Otto would do. Age up with 3 wheels into 700 coin into 700 wood. And yeah, just not even having to mine at all pretty much because he ages up with 300 coin and gets a pretty decent timing. And we're for sure gonna see some Gaskenia behind all of this.
Yeah, clicking up at 5 minutes 45 seconds. I think that's a pretty respectable fast fortress for Ethiopia.
Yeah, and
And then yeah, I think he's
doesn't
just
have
going to try to
influence to fast
rely on sending all of these because these are some very strong unit shipments he's got there.
can we see the second military building for Otto, or are they deciding to age behind this? So it will be an artillery foundry. I feel like that's a mistake because you see that Ethiopia is aging behind this. So what's the point of 18 range Abus if your opponent has either 12 range Neftenia, 20 range Neftenia, or
Or
the
the
big
Shotels.
mortar,
Yeah, all the more.
or the Shotels, yeah. So, going 700 coin after behind this, so it's either gonna be an age up, probably an age up because he stopped
He's gone
mining so much.
He's gone 700 wood, 5 bill, 700 coin, now 600 coin.
So it was all crazy XP curve by
Yeah.
the Otto, just being able to spam out these shipments. Will he decide to finish this batch of Abus? It looks like he will. Will he try to push into Ethiopia's base when they age up? I wonder. Only 5 is hanging out in the field so far, 5 more are coming. He's aging with Somalis, which I believe ages him with 6 musketeers, unique musketeers that are pretty much
The Somali
a
native
better
musketeer.
Gaskenia. Yeah, the Somali is a warrior, which I think is just a better Gaskenia, which is great for that body block. Probably gonna go for that mortar or the Neftenia as the first shipment, because you don't want to let Otto sit on this stagecoach for too long. One thing to note is that while Ethiopian House Explorer look the same, the Ethiopian one has a counter against heavy infantry, so it's quite a bit better, I would say, in this scenario. Yeah, the important thing about the Issa Warriors is that they are a 14 range and that they fire much faster the closer they are.
Ah, so the closer you get, the faster they fire. Yeah, fast
Yeah,
fire
so
when
both
you get that.
Cascania and Issa Warriors have this passive,
Mhm.
but I believe Issa Warriors get just more of it. So I think Cascania get like 2.5 or something at most, or yeah, something like that. But Issa Warriors get down to 2 or something. They're really close. Again, take all of these numbers with a grain of salt. I'm not an Ethiopia player. Actually, I'm an Ethiopia hater.
Elite infantry coming in for Ethiopia, and he's setting the mortar. He's sitting pretty comfortably,
Yep.
whereas Otto is pulling really far back. Looks like they're going to try to age. Setting everything to wood now. He's going to have the gold pretty soon. Wasn't really able to do any damage other than taking the trade post
Yeah,
and then
I
idling
think
him a tiny bit on the monastery.
I feel like the Aebus did nothing except pretty much delay him by a solid 30 seconds or something. Interestingly, Ethiopia not going for the TP, but actually going for the forward base, right? With the mortar. Not a bad choice, but again, if these TPs are set to wood, Otto will just simply rebuild all of these buildings in their base. So it does end up going down. But yeah, look at the speed at which this mortar takes down buildings.
Looks like it's going to be 5
Almost
shots.
as if it were a mortar.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a 600 damage per shot.
Yeah, he's doing 600 per shot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he's
know
got-
because I was amazed that in 6 shots this killed the bank. I blinked and this killed my bank, and then I said, okay, this is a bad matchup for Dutch.
Now he's going to start taking out the trade line.
Yeah, I
Definitely
don't like
gonna
that
be
he didn't
smart.
rebuild the TP in his own base. I feel like that's definitely a mistake.
Well,
Aebus
he
trying
sold
to
his
commit on
cows.
the mortar. They do a lot of damage against artillery, but there is not enough numbers, and these Aebus are so valuable, you don't want to lose them like that. Will the mortar lock on? No 3-point shot from that. We see some shotters hiding in the shade on the left, but yeah, just gonna heal that mortar up with the Aebons. And can we see what Otto is shipping?
6 Abyss
Actually
guns.
going for Aebus. This is gonna be a big gamble. He needs to be able to get this mortar somehow. Did he get the veterancy for the Aebus?
No, he hasn't got veterancy for either yet.
Yeah, so
And yeah,
he will
now
need
they
to rebuild
lose
this.
The artillery foundry.
The mortar gonna do so
Oh,
much
that's a
work
big
with this
shot.
Aebus. Oof,
And he
that's
goes for
300 resources there. Gonna try and right click this mortar maybe. Or the whole army. Gens walking forward, I feel like too much. Neftenia doing a good work against them, and the mortar with each shot is
Here we
should
go,
be targeting
baby.
the Aebus. Missing the shot on absolutely everything.
Ethiopia's got
Shooting
veteran
the artillery.
upgrades on all of his
No, you
units.
don't want to lose your mortar. That's the key to winning this game. Dennis leaving his mortar out to be right-clicked by all of these Aebus.
Oh no.
And now, how do we deal with these
He was
falconets
winning.
as Ethiopia? I feel like this was a
Yeah, big
big
mistake.
misplay by Dennis. He might be able to catch these falcons as they pop, but again, the Otto army will probably just collapse on top of this. And yeah, this is... Shotter is gonna be shipped next. Gens are veteran now. Are the falcons being shipped or made actually?
They're
I'm a bit,
shipped. He was making Abyss out of there, which they're going to pop out in a second. And the Falcons that arrived, they're go into combat.
Small number of shuttle. I doubt they will be able to make their way through the Janissaries. And Otto is still sitting on the two TPs. And yeah, I feel like this is such a good position to be on as Ottomans. Just backing
Sucks,
off,
yeah, this
trying
is-
to
They're so
think of a way.
hopeful.
No influence to be able to afford the Culverin, and Daniel probably knows this. He's gonna right-click that base with these falconets, and Ethiopia units are quite strong, but they're also quite expensive. So each falc shot will take a toll, and not even going for Culverins of his own because he knows that he can just add falconets. Ethiopia and Hausa just struggle at adding Culverins so much, and yeah, losing that. Mortar definitely feel like the worst
He's
part
gonna
of
have
this game so far
4
for Dennis.
Falcons down.
The number of infantry from Otto isn't that large. will the shuttle be able to pick up the reinforcement batch of falconets?
Oh no,
They're
they
just
miss it.
about to miss it. And yeah, when these 4 falconets connect, I feel like it will be impossible for Ethiopia to ever collapse on this. Shipping Janissary combat behind is a very good idea to just reinforce the anti-cav and just let the Falks deal with the rest of it. Being forced to ship 9 into 8 shuttles to try and swarm this Falk, but is there any chance of killing all of them through this massive Janissaries? Let's see. One bad drag box surrounding it from every side. This is it. This is the key moment of the game and the whole series. Who will take more points to their team? Shuttles making their way, squeezing through the Janissaries, taking 3 Falks almost instantly. Still a healthy number of Netanya shooting. The shuttles quite literally go down, but the 4th Falk will follow through. Is there enough infantry left for Ethiopia to kill these Janissaries? Only 1 Abus left, and it seems like Otto will back off. Definitely a great fight for Ethiopia, but still, behind this, Otto is on 3 TP's stagecoach and instantly queuing another Falconet. And I feel like if they're able to get them out unharmed, this will just be too hard to get such a miracle fight against for Ethiopia. While they did kill 4 Falconets, which just sounds crazy, they did lose 20 or 30 shuttles in doing so. And yeah, the mass for Ethiopia just
Oh yeah, Jen's up there to
not
protect
enough.
him.
Good catch. These giants in yellow being hard to spot in this sandy homeland of theirs. And
One
yeah,
foul coming in. If he had some bills there, he could have gotten out an extra 2. But one's more should be plenty.
definitely
for
gonna
him.
get another one, I feel like.
I think he's gonna. No,
Yeah,
he's
and
not gonna
how
get
do you
up there.
deal instantly with 2 more Falks? Nice to raid against this Otto army that just wants to be together. And yeah, when Dennis sees these 2 extra Falks, he's definitely gonna lose some faith into this series, as yeah, he will be forced to somehow snipe them again. Shipping these guys, yeah, he doesn't have a shipment of Somalis. Maybe training some of the Somali, because he did age up with the Somalis.
Yeah, he's
Training
shipping
some
them.
of those Darude would be an option. Can we check? He doesn't have a palace.
No.
He never even shipped a palace because of the FF. Yeah, that's why Ethiopia usually doesn't FF, because they would need at least palace before then. And now we are seeing the price he's paying for this. Solid number of Neftenia, but again, his villagers are exposed. He's praying so much that nothing goes wrong, but Otto just gonna mass the Janissaries and defend his Falks probably better this time.
Ethiopia's already running out of shipments to send in H3. He's just burning
Yeah.
through his deck. Otto, meanwhile, adding another 3 Falcons. He's got up to 5 Falcons now.
This is crazy.
Yeah. And
Feels-
no,
And yeah, these Neftenia are not even one-shotting the Janissaries. And how do you compete on this again? Last fight he killed 4 Falconets, but barely any Janissaries. So the Janissary mass is even bigger now. And yeah, I don't see a way out. And behind this, Otto might be sending Spahi. They might be sending Mamelukes. Ethiopia just has no clue, no way to scout. And Otto is again sitting on 3 Falks behind of all of this. Just feels so hopeless for Ethiopia. All down from that mortar slip up. And yeah, training some more shuttles. They're the only option they have at sniping these Falks. But again, 5 Falks. That's 1000 HP you have to go through. Yeah, Ethiopia now has enough influence to maybe make 1 Culverin, but again,
no.
no
fort.
palace.
Yeah, no palace.
Yeah, no palace. And yeah, these Falconets will just make quick work of this Ethiopian army.
He's going for another surround. He's gonna try
Another
and pick the
great
fight again.
flank from many angles, but these Janissaries are in a much better position now. One of the Falcons gets surrounded by Shuttle and taken out quite quickly.
Oh,
2
wow.
more will follow. One of the Falcons starts packing, unpacks it quickly, but look at the backline from Ethiopia.
Oh, he's
All of the
lost them
Falcons
all.
go down. Yeah, but is there enough anti-infantry left from Ethiopia? There's like 5 or 6 Neftenia left. Some of the Minutemen called by Ethiopia. No Abus in that mix, only Janissaries. But I feel like Otto will just walk out and come back again with more Falks. Nothing stopping him there. Although Ethiopia is shipping 1K influence, which they can make their own Falks or even Culverins. I cannot believe what Dennis is somehow staying in this game through sheer shuttle mass slipping through those Janissary ranks and being able to snipe 5 Falcons somehow.
Never realized these Levy Bowmen have a multiplier against light cav and heavy infantry.
Yeah, so the thing with the Africa is that they have 3 Minutemen.
Yeah.
They have a pikeman, an archer, and a musketeer, which is actually, I believe, artillery. So the musketeer from the palace has a multiplier against artillery, although it's not that big and it doesn't go through the range resist. But yeah, we don't see those guys right now because he doesn't have a palace. Oh, he built the palace somewhere because he's a research. Yeah, palace up top left. And yeah, maybe if he gets 2 Falcons of his own, or will he go for cool
I
variants?
think Colvins would be a safer bet because if we have a look, yeah, he is making more.
Oh,
pals now.
Mamelukes, no.
Mamelukes coming in behind
And yeah.
8 Janissaries.
He doesn't need Falcons anymore. He just goes Jans and Mamelukes. How do you kill the Mamelukes as Ethiopia?
That's the thing, you
Just-
don't.
Yeah. Right now, Culverins or Falconets from Ethiopia is the last thing you want to make. And yeah, so expecting the 3rd Falc push just won't come because this coin is spent on Mamelukes, which will definitely seal Ethiopia's fate. And yeah, just even with Mamelukes, he manages to print out 2 more Falconets. They will be scouted, but I feel like there is no point
Jesus.
in knowing this.
He's falling back
This
to the
is
fort.
just
That's where the coals are
third and
coming
boom,
from.
boom.
He needs to try to save those coals.
Quite a nice mass of Gascania out on the field, but again, they are half HP of this Janissary. If you can check, I doubt that they are more than 180 HP. These
Which
Gascania.
unit? The Gascania? Yeah. 170.
Yeah,
versus
170.
the
Pretty much
301.
half of Janissary. The Wolves
Dodge
miss
the Falc shot! Oh
the
my
first
god!
Falc shots, and the
That
Mamelukes are instantly going for the Culverins, and yeah, 1k influence just goes down the drain. Even if they got the Falcs, how do they kill this Jan mass? And yeah, he just calls. Great game by Daniel, taking a surprising win against Dennis's main seer in a pretty decent matchup, but still, it's Dennis on his main Ethiopia. Played just really well. A bit of a mistake with that mortar, but again, it's never easy microing skirms, mask, mortar, abuns. Can't play Dennis. It's midnight for us Europeans, although I think Daniel is also European. Either way, congrats to both players. They played an amazing series, another 3-2, and I'm hoping we'll see many more 3-2s from these 2 teams.
Oh, I exited. I was supposed to go check the post game. I switch over to home screen.
Yeah, interestingly enough, Dennis losing with both African civs, but winning with 2 Asian civs.
Is Otto an Asian civ?
I don't know. Are they
Something like that.
European?
That sounds pretty. I don't know. Well, what do the Turks say? Sounds pretty slanderous, in my opinion.
Well, the ones that live in Europe claim it's European. The ones that live in Turkey claim it's Asian.
Mhm.
But yeah, jokes besides, Otto 100% win rate, France 0% win rate. The agenda has been maintained, and yeah, great game by both players again, and quite a nice watch.
So yeah, as you said, it is midnight currently in Europe, so I don't believe neither the players are interested in having an interview, which is fair enough.
Let's see.
Thank you, Beast Warrior, for the subscribe. So we have a look now here. So if we look at the current standing now. Ending matches. So Hudson Bay Bigs now going up to 20. Oh, and thank you, Shiz, for a subscribe as well. Subscribe for 13 months. Great to see. So Hudson Bay Bigs now on 20 wins in total. CMC, which is Daniel's team, now on 19. So they've managed to close because before it was a 2-score gap. So Daniel's managed to close the gap by 1 point, which overall is really good for CMC. Hudson Bay Bigs now only 1 point in
This
the
is
lead
terrible
for
for
first
the
place.
other ones.
Yeah.
They just wanted one team to really choke this week, but if both teams are trading wins, it feels terrible if you're one of the other teams.
Yeah, so I'm gonna
Like
look.
SKG is looking not too far from that second place, so they were definitely hoping on one of the teams bottling.
Yeah, especially after that 5-0 sweep, the second 5-0 sweep in a row that Opti's able to pick up, absolutely carrying that team on his shoulders. 14 points now for SKG. Hopefully they're able to pick up a few more wins in the coming future. If I have a look over at the schedule, I'm just going to announce the games that are going to get streamed. We're still waiting for a few casters to confirm if they're ready. If there's any casters in the listening right now, we have Ezad versus Phoenix at 3 o'clock or 15 GMT on Saturday. We have a producer, but we're still waiting on 1 or 2 casters to confirm. So if anyone's able to do that, that's going to be in my opinion, a very exciting match. So I'd like to see that casted. However, on Saturday at 10 GMT, we have Soldier versus Milk and Honey. That is definitely going to be casted. I think that's also going to be a really good game. That's Soldier's Man and Duck Squad.
I will
Milk
know
and Honey.
tomorrow for which ones I'm available.
Yeah, and Milk and Honey is SKG. And then we have 4 games on Saturday. At least 3 of
Maybe
them are
pull
getting
up
casted.
the thing on the stream so people can know exactly.
No, I'm
maybe they want a screenshot.
I'm not going to. No, I'm not going to show them that. I'm just going off the spreadsheet.
Okay. Spreadsheet is only for the important guys. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that. My Discord notification sound was turned on during that stream. I'd like to apologize
It's
for
fine.
that.
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, very new producer. I've only done
Yeah, it's
like
probably Killer Cat
12.
noticed it and then sent messages to you.
Yeah.
That's the type of guy he is.
Yeah, I do need to be in streamer mode. I accidentally turned that off. But yeah, new producer, even though I've done like more than 12 of these by now. But anyway, that's the end of the stream, and everyone's probably really tired after that match, so